My name is Giovanni. I work as the head of visual experience at Coach. So looking at everything to do with visual merchandising, windows, pop-ups, and many other fun things.
What led you to all of those fun things at Coach, career-wise?
Do you know, I did branding at university in Oxford.
Okay.
So it was more branding and business. And I was working in retail just to make money when I was at university. And I kind of got into VM by, meeting a VM person. And then for some reason, my career I got stuck into it in a good way. And I've kind of moved between countries by knowing people. I was actually saying to a friend of mine, I've never actually had a proper interview because I've always moved around through networking. So I studied in Italy, of course, then lived in London, then Amsterdam, then left Europe for Coach. I moved, to Hong Kong. So I was there for about 4.5 years, managing the Asia division of Coach Creative. And then I moved here about 5 years ago to lead the global team. So it's been a little bit of a roller coaster of markets and countries, but somehow everything is kind of fitted perfectly. And I don't know, I would do it any other way. So feels like it was meant to be.
Over all of those experiences and different markets that you've tapped into, what have been some of your favorite projects to work on?
I definitely think most of my favorite ones are some of the global projects that we do. We do a lot of those at Coach. As much as we have a unique brand positioning globally, I think we do a lot of work to make sure that we're actually localizing some of the creative that we do. Global local, I think it's a big part of our success factor. I think we do have talented team within the regions that help us to achieve that.
I see. So speaking to involving your community and really making your customer understand your brand identity and the experiences that you want to provide for them, how would you recommend to a company to enhance or elevate their visual experience within their stores?
$1 million question. I think I go down to two routes. Number one is I think thinking about experience more just than visual merchandising. I think there's a lot of companies that really go just the VM route. But I do believe that, and we changed the name of the team a few years ago to experience, because I do think it's so much more than putting bags on shelves. Because today the customer can buy the bag on the internet, on their phone. So what is the added value of them coming to our store? Even thinking about what are all the other elements. So think about a 360 activation. So something that is a little bit more immersive than just shopping. So think about your windows, think about even the staff in the store. Like, what do they wear? What do they say? How are they dressed? What is the smell of the store? How are the bags merchandised? Is there a photo moment? Is there anything that you want to engage them with? How long are they in the store? How long are they waiting to pay? I think it's all part of the experience. And I think the more they can get immersed into the brand codes when they walk into the store, the better. And I do think sometimes they just come in for the brand. They may not buy the bag or the jacket or whatever they want to buy, but they can come in and be part of our community. They can come in and be part of our family. And I think we do a lot of events in stores as well, which help with that. It's a huge part of our DNA now. And one of the big pieces around the experience at Coach is the idea of customization and personalization. So we launched a huge program a few years ago, which has been really well received, especially in North America and in China, where you can make your own bag, you can customize your own bag, and now is in hundreds and hundreds of stores, and is actually done on site. So you will actually get it before you leave the store.
Wow.
So we have trained a lot of craftsmen in stores. They can actually do that. We created an entire pin and patches program. So I think it's another way to bring the community in and to how to express your individuality in the store.
So as you were saying, how Coach also does really beautiful pop-ups, and I think that you are a brand leading in this experience-driven retail. In your own opinion, in your own words, how do you believe pop-ups provide that extra value to retail?
The good thing about the pop-ups is exactly that. They pop up and then they go away. So somehow we have a white canvas to what we can do, versus when we think about our stores, the structure of the stores and the walls and the ceiling and the floors, they're already there. So I think in a pop-up, if you go to a mall or we go to a specific locations around the world, we can really do whatever we want. So we use the pop-up a little bit as a laboratory of creative ideas. That then we can also bring into our stores, but the team goes a little bit over and above in pop-ups. So it's really the mixture of, are they there for brand or are they there for a commercial reason? I think the answer is both.
Without trying to steal all of your secrets here, do you see any emerging trends in the visual experience space?
I think a lot is about to change post-COVID. I think, everybody's looking for some answers for, what is the new normal look like, even if the new normal, I think never existed. I do see, of course, less people in stores.
Right.
Which also means that if there is less people in stores, they might spend a little bit more time there. So it actually makes the value of VM and the experience a little bit even stronger. Somehow I'm looking at it as a positive because we can really interact with every customer on a one-on-one basis. Especially on some of the high trafficked locations around the world. I hear a lot of people saying, the brick and mortar is gone, it's all about online, and I do think there is going to be an increase online, but I do think that our stores remain the heart and soul of our brands. For all of the brands, because even as a consumer, I do love to go into a store to really absorb not just the product, but everything else about the brand DNA of whatever brand you love or you want to be associated with.
Amazing. I very much appreciate your positive outlook on it and not seeing a decrease in potential in-person customers as a negative, but seeing it as a way to really enhance your brand.
Yeah, totally. Also, I think it gives us a little bit of a push as creative people to actually innovate. I think sometimes we think about innovation as like, oh my God, we know everything is working. Why do we need to change? And I think now this COVID is really pushing all of us to think differently. Make sure that when you go to our stores, you feel happy. There's a sense of joy and, like you've been close into your house for months. What else do you want? You want to be with people. You want a sense of community. You want a sense of happiness.
Right.
So how do we bring that to life? I think every brand is going to do it in a different way, of course, but I think that's really where my head is at.
So I could see, or from my understanding of what you're saying, the values of Coach are very much driven into this community-based diversification and a lot of customization, which I think is really beautiful. But to push this back on you a little bit, what are some of your core values and motivators that keep you in this industry and keep you in your position?
One of the reasons why I pursued Coach in the first place was because my personal values and the company values were pretty much the same. The Coach were able to move fast, mainly to the idea that even in my team, there's a sense of democracy in the team about how we work. We have brainstorming sessions all the time. It's kind of fun. It's a fun environment. Also, having lived around the world, I have built a team with, different backgrounds, which I really appreciate. And I think just with that, it diversifies the number of ideas that we get. There's different point of views in the team. And I think that's part of diversity. Just the fact that not everybody comes from a fashion background, I think that's part of diversity. And I think that's the only way that you can change and you can innovate. Some people think, Coach is such a big American corporation, even from the outside. But when you come in, we really work so well together. And that's why some of those ideas sparkle.
Just as an end cap to this wonderful interview, do you have any final motivational thoughts or advice to anybody out there that you would like to say?
I would just say, if you have an idea, just be yourself. But don't think about if the idea is going to happen or not. I would not try to, tailor the idea to your boss or whoever you work for. Just be yourself, because I think if you really truly believe it, it will happen. I think when you even enter a company as an entry level, you're kind of scared to share your ideas and you're a little bit closed. But right now, I think no idea is a bad idea. I think we need to change the industry. And that's how innovation works. So that will kind of be my message. Don't be scared if you have an idea, just say it.